What's up? It's Patrick Wilson, and I'm back with another video. And today we are talking about the most important thing you will ever learn in fitness, in nutrition, as it relates to looking and feeling your absolute best. We are learning and talking about the best flavors of ice cream that will help you build the most muscle.
Completely kidding, although that would be fun.
We're actually talking about, seriously, the most important thing you probably could ever learn, especially as it relates to losing weight and losing fat and looking your best. We're talking about calorie deficits. First, before we get into the actual talk of calorie deficits, this Hornets hat, I just bought it because it looks cool. I'm not actually from Charlotte or a Hornets fan. I'm from Ohio. I like the Cavs and the Lakers, really wherever LeBron is, that's my team. The hat is cool though. Two, it's May in LA right now, so it's a little spicy, it's a little hot out right now. And I got a black shirt on, a compression black shirt on. So if I went outside, I'd be sweating. Thus, we are staying inside for the duration of this video. Back to calorie deficit talks. So, losing weight, losing body fat, it all kind of seems overwhelming and daunting and challenging. Most people try to way overcomplicate it, when really, practice and learning about it, it's pretty simple. It's not always the most easy thing to execute, and we're gonna talk about that, but just the actual idea of losing weight, it's really simple when it is simplified. So that's the goal of today's video, to simplify this topic of actually losing weight, losing body fat, being in a calorie deficit, simplifying it as much as possible.
So you can make as much progress as possible and look how you want it and feel how you want it and live your best life. I'm living my best life.
I'm terrible at singing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to just endure that just now. That is why I make videos about fitness and nutrition and workout. I have no natural talents. Anyways, there are 4 things we're gonna cover with this video today. 1, what actually is a calorie deficit? What does that mean? 2, how to get started being in a calorie deficit. 3, liking my video and subscribing to my channel. I'm just kidding, that's not a real topic as it relates to losing weight and losing fat and being in a calorie deficit. Actually, just kidding, it is, because I talk about a lot of this stuff on a regular basis. So therefore, if you want to lose weight and lose body fat, you should subscribe and like my stuff. Yeah, okay. Third thing, the real third thing, what to do when and if progress stalls on your weight loss journey. So, with that being said, let's dive into the first thing. What is a calorie deficit? Indeed, what is a calorie deficit?
What is a calorie deficit, you may be wondering?
Well, there are 2 ways that we're gonna talk about and describe it as. They both mean the same thing, and a calorie deficit is a calorie deficit. There's really no room for interpretation with it. It is what it is, but I'm gonna give you 2 ways to think about it. The first thing, and the first way to think about it, is that you're taking in less calories than your body needs to maintain its current weight. Basically, as an example, say you're 180 pounds. You need to take in less calories than your body needs to maintain that weight of 180 pounds. Which gets me to the next kind of idea within this. There's something else called a calorie maintenance amount and a calorie surplus. When you're in a calorie maintenance, that means that you're taking in the amount of calories needed to stay at your current weight. When you're in a surplus, a calorie surplus, it means that you're taking in more calories than needed to be at its current weight. You literally take in enough calories to stay at the same body weight, like I said. When you're in a surplus though, those excess calories are either, those excess calories are either going to be used to build muscle or add some additional body fat, or a lot of body fat, depending on how much of a surplus and how consistent the surplus is. The flip side of that is that we want to take in less calories than our body needs to maintain its current weight, aka a calorie deficit. The second way, and probably a more simplified way to think about it, is that simply you just want to be burning more calories than you're taking in. Now I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking that means you have to go work out and burn an absurd amount of calories in order to be in a calorie deficit because you eat, let's just say, 2,000 calories in a day. You think you have to go burn 2,000 plus calories from a workout. And that is not what you should ever aim to do. See, the cool thing about being a human being is that just by being alive and moving around, we're burning calories. Literally, you could sit on the couch the entire day, not even move around, and be burning calories. Our bodies need calories to maintain life. Calorie, really, at the end of the day, is just a form of energy. So you just being alive and a human and doing your thing, you need calories. Also, you burn calories if you have more muscle mass. The more muscle you have, the more calories you need to maintain that. Also, some people are just blessed with unbelievable genetics and are able to have the metabolism of a 15-year-old that runs cross country and plays basketball. Like they could literally, there are certain people with metabolisms where they could eat pizza every day and not gain any weight. They're able to take in a lot more calories without gaining weight, so therefore their maintenance amount of calories based on what they burn on a day-to-day basis is gonna be a lot higher than some other people. You also burn calories by doing things like just fidgeting around. Me doing all this stuff right here, I'm burning a little minuscule amount of calories. Also, me talking right now, I'm burning a little minuscule amount of calories. Even if you don't work out, you technically could lose weight by being in a calorie deficit by changing the next factor we're gonna talk about, which is your eating and the calories you take in. Let's say you burn a certain amount of calories through just being alive, through your fidgeting, through your genetics, your metabolism, and additional exercise that you get in. Now it comes down to the amount of calories you are taking in through food, through drinks. And here's the thing, regardless of the kind of food that you have, as long as you're within your calorie goals and you're in a calorie deficit, you're burning more calories than you're taking in, you're gonna lose weight. You could literally eat candy for all of your calories in a day, and if you hit your calorie goal, you would lose weight.
You could have pizza for every single meal and lose weight if you're within your calorie goal. Or burgers, or ice cream, or literally whatever.
Or you could do it a more healthy and better approach, as we're gonna get into next, and have fruits, veggies, stuff like that. But it's important to know that the kind of food doesn't matter, it's the amount of the food you're having. That is what's most important to actually lose weight. That doesn't mean you could be the most healthy if you're losing weight. Obviously, if you have candy or pizza for every meal, that ain't it, dog. It's not good for your health. But it's important to know what actually causes you to lose weight and know the reason behind it. Because there are a lot of ideas out there that tell you that certain kind of foods are bad for you and you can't have them to lose weight. There's no foods that are inherently bad. Yes, some foods are gonna be more filling and better for you, like fruits and veggies and protein sources. But within your calories in the day, the food you have, it's okay to mix in those fun things. Staying within a certain calorie goal is the most important thing. And yes, I'm sure you've heard of different diets out there, like keto or intermittent fasting or Whole30 or low carb, whatever the case is, and people swear by them. People see results with them, which is phenomenal. But the reason that people see results are because of the total calories. It's because they're cutting back on calories when they start one of those different kinds of diets. For example, with keto, you're pretty much cutting out all carbs. If you take a regular person and have them stop eating carbs, you're gonna be cutting back a lot of calories. With intermittent fasting, you don't eat in the morning and you only have a certain eating window. If you take a regular person and just their habits they normally do and take away one meal, a breakfast meal, you're taking away at least 300 calories, and that's on the low end for what they would have. And again, the calories are what causes them to make progress, not this random diet. It's not that carbs are bad or eating in the morning is bad. It's literally just that they took in less calories and that's what caused the progress. With all that being said, making progress really comes down to the calories you take in versus the calories you're burning, aka the calories out. You need to be burning more calories than you are taking in. Cool, we got it. On to the next thing. You see the Drake interview inside of his house where he has that nice green couch in his house? This is what this reminds me of. Every time I sit on it, I'm like channeling my inner Drake. I am pale. This is really crazy. This black shirt is making me realize how pale I am. It's crazy. All right, on to number 2. I guess that's 4. On to number 2. How to get started being in a calorie deficit. So now you know what it is. Now you're like, well, what are the steps I gotta do to get there? To start losing weight, to start losing body fat. And like we talked about, there's 2 variables to this. Calories in versus calories out. First, let's go over the calories you are taking in, aka the food and drinks you're having. So the first step with this, in my opinion, should be to actually track the calories you're having on a regular basis with a goal in mind. If we know that progress comes from the calories you're taking in, and you can control that, then it makes the most sense to track it and not leave it up to chance.
The rapper.
I had to drop a hip hop reference in here. Although that is now played out because I've used it twice already. I don't want to leave it up to chance when it comes to the calories you're taking in and just generally trying to eat healthier. If you want to have an actual really good idea of why you are or not making progress, you got to track your calories. And then the next step of that is having a goal in mind. So the most simple, ideal way to go about having a goal with nutrition and with the calories you're taking in is to multiply your body weight, your current body weight, by 11. Now, this isn't gonna be perfect, but it's a really good starting point for pretty much anyone to lose weight, to lose body fat. So, for example, if you are 200 pounds, you multiply that by 11, your starting amount of calories you wanna take in is 2,200 calories. That's your goal amount of calories you wanna hit every single day. And with that, you're gonna be able to start to lose body fat, lose weight. Again, there are a lot of variables with that, and we're gonna talk about what happens if you hit a plateau or aren't making progress in our next little section, but that's a good starting point to go from and to aim for every single day. Remember, with nutrition, yes, you can have fun foods within that calorie goal every day. If you have 2,000 calories to work with to make progress, you could have a burrito or some pizza or wine or donuts in that, but it's important to also have those nutrient-dense, healthy sources of food like fruits, veggies, lean protein sources. That's gonna allow you to be more full and feel your best while taking in less calories. Because if your entire diet consists of candy and pizza and donuts and you're trying to stick within a calorie goal, one, you're not gonna feel very good, and two, you're gonna be really hungry and it's gonna be really hard to stick with. So about 70 to 80% of your calories should be from healthier foods, and when you do have those unhealthy foods, try to have them in moderation, try to limit it to a few slices of pizza, not the entire box. Or a smaller side of fries, something like that. Again, sure, if you're tracking calories, you're aware of what you're taking in, so you can have some days that are more fun than others and fill it with more pizza or donuts or whatever your jam is. But most of the time, day to day, if you want to hit a set calorie goal and be in a calorie deficit, it needs to be from mostly
nutrient-dense, filling, nutritious, healthy food.
Also, real quick, as it relates to nutrition, yes, you can eat way less calories and eat like 1,000 calories per day and try to make as much progress as quick as possible, but you're gonna burn out really quickly, it's not gonna be enjoyable, and you're gonna start to lose muscle mass. All of those things are terrible for long-term success. Start to be more okay with taking your time making progress with this stuff. It's a process, you don't need to make progress in 2 weeks, and that be and all be all. Try to make this stuff a lifestyle. Track your calories, and have it be a realistic amount. Body weight times 11, that's a pretty realistic amount for most people that they can work with and gradually make progress with. If you're losing about 1 to 2 pounds per week, that's great, but don't feel like you need to hurry up and make as much progress really quickly and drop calories super low. You got this. The next thing, calories out, aka the calories you burn. To make being in a calorie deficit easier, one, it's important to be active and get workouts in. Now for some people, maybe that's just going for a 30-minute walk a few times per week starting out. For other people, maybe that's getting in intense workouts, intense lifting sessions, or high intense cardio and all this stuff. No matter who you are, you need to be active in some way. The next thing to start doing that will help you tremendously is to start strength training, aka lifting weights when gyms are open. If gyms are open, or if you have weights at home, or doing body weight exercises like squats, lunges, push-ups, stuff like that. This is gonna increase your metabolism and make it easier to be in a calorie deficit and lose body fat, lose weight. And we're only talking about losing weight and just generally being in a calorie deficit in this video, but if you want to actually look your best, lose mostly body fat and look toned and lean, strength training is an essential part of that process. So if you want to look, feel your best while being in a calorie deficit and help improve and make the calorie deficit easier, then start strength training too. Try to work out at least 3 to 4 times per week. If you can get up to 5, 6 times if you have time and want to, that's phenomenal. It's not absolutely needed. Make sure you take at least 1 rest day. At least 3 workouts per week though. That is the goal. Quick summary of how to get started. 1, track your calories. Download an app called MyFitnessPal. That's gonna be helpful. There are other ones where you can track the calories you take in, or you can simply just look up the calories of the food you're having, write it down in a notebook. That's what I did when I first started. MyFitnessPal is helpful because you can scan barcodes and you can search foods, and the app remembers the foods you have. So if you have similar foods on a day-to-day basis, it makes it easy for you. You have other apps out there though, like I think LifeSum is one of them, or Lose It. I will say one thing when you're signing up for one of those apps is that it's gonna try to get you to enter information and say how much weight you wanna lose in X amount of time. That's the worst part of it, because it sets really unrealistic expectations for people, because anyone's gonna be like, oh, I wanna lose 3 pounds in a week, every single week. And it's gonna give you a really low amount of calories to go for most of the time. And it's not gonna be easy to stick with. So do your best to listen to what we're talking about in this video and set your goals based around that, because I want you to actually make progress in a realistic way and be able to stick with it. And then the second part of it is getting in workouts consistently, at least 3 times per week, including strength training in the mix. Got it. And the third thing, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel. That's it. Just kidding, that's not the end of the video. We gotta talk about what happens if you hit a plateau with your fitness goals, with this calorie deficit stuff. What happens if you feel like you're in a calorie deficit and you're not making the progress you want? But first, what do you think this guy is thinking? What do you think he was thinking when they took this photo? It's a good looking guy. It's a good looking guy. I just wanna know what he was thinking. Like, what was he looking at? I guess low-key how I'd be looking at Chipotle burritos when they come out. Just eyeing them up. Hard eyes. Gotta be a burrito he was looking at. I can't have him in my video. We gotta move this. I'm gonna be looking at him the whole time. Next thing, what to do if you hit a plateau on your calorie deficit, weight loss, fat loss journey. There are 3 things I want you to consider if you hit a plateau, if you reach a plateau. The first thing, are you not making progress as fast as you think you should be? This happens to a lot of people where they think they should be losing 5 pounds per week or even 2-3 pounds per week. And when that doesn't happen, they get really discouraged and they feel like they're not making any progress. When in reality, even if you're losing 1 pound per week or 2 pounds per week, you're killing the game. If the scale is going down or you're feeling better or clothes are fitting differently or you're taking progress pictures and you can see a change in those, you're still making progress. And you should keep going with that same calorie deficit goal and that same calorie goal until you actually reach a legitimate plateau. And we're gonna talk about what a legitimate plateau is here in a second. Second thing, have you actually been as consistent with this stuff as you should be? Have you been hitting your calorie goal every day? Have you been getting in workouts on a regular basis? Have you been executing on those set things we talked about in the last section? Because if you're not, say you had a couple days where you're 500 calories over and you're doing that every single week, whereas 2 days out of the week you're 500 calories over your goal, or you're missing a bunch of workouts. Yeah, you're probably not gonna be making progress. You have to be more hard on yourself and follow through more. This stuff isn't always gonna be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You have to push yourself mentally, physically, maybe emotionally sometimes. Now, if you actually are in a plateau, you've been doing everything you can be. You've been hitting your calorie goals. You've been working out consistently and the scale is not moving. You're not making any changes and it's been at least 2 to 3 weeks and you haven't noticed anything, like anything at all. Then this is what you should do. Well, 1 of 2 things. See, it's pretty simple. You're either taking in too many calories now for the amount of body fat weight you're at on your journey, or you're not getting in enough activity. Not making progress, and you're not losing weight and not losing body fat, you're simply not in a calorie deficit. And from there, going back to the 2 variables we talked about, you have to either change the calories in or the calories out, or a little combo of both in order to be in a calorie deficit and keep making the progress that you want to make. The changes to make to start making more progress and actually lose weight are either 1, starting to take in less calories. So maybe that's having more fruits and veggies instead of some of the processed junk foods you're having. That's having more foods in moderation or cutting back the portion sizes of foods. Either way, whatever you're doing, taking in a little bit less calories. I would say around 150 to 200 calories less than you previously were. That's a good amount to aim for, to take in less, and do that for a couple weeks, see the kind of progress you're making and make adjustments based on that again. Or you adjust the calories out, aka the calories burned. Either want to add in a little bit more, maybe it's a little bit more cardio, maybe it's another 10-15 minutes of cardio per workout, or it's adding in a whole nother workout throughout the week. Something like that, anything where you can just get another little bit of additional activity, that's perfect. So simply, if you've really reached the plateau, you either need to adjust the calories you're taking in and take in less calories and eat less, or you need to get in more activity and burn more calories. With that being said, we're gonna conclude today's video on that note. You now know what a calorie deficit is, how you can get started to be in a calorie deficit and lose weight, lose body fat, and what to do if you hit a plateau. Hopefully that helps. Comment below and let me know what questions you have. Happy to help any way I can. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel. Liking it really helps so that other people can see this video, helps the YouTube algorithm, helps people learn from my channel. So if you got something out of this video and you want other people to learn, leaving a like is simply all you have to do. And also subscribing to my channel. I would sincerely appreciate that as well. Above all else, I really just appreciate you watching this if you're still watching this right now. I hope you're having a marvelous, wonderful day, and your upcoming week is phenomenal. Stay consistent with your goals, be patient, keep doing your thing, work hard. It will absolutely 1000% pay off. You got this. Peace and blessings. Much love. Talk to you soon.